itself. Om Swastiastu. Hello everyone, welcome back with me. My name is Agustina Lorensa. I'm from class A2 Denpasar. My number absent 12. In this video, I'll explain about adverb, adverbial phrase, and adverbial clause. Okay, first adverb. An adverb is a word that describes or modifies a verb. An adjective, another adverb, a preposition, a conjunction, or even an entire clause. Essentially, adverb give more information to the reader. Notice how to the adverb in the following example and detail or nouns to the sentence. Types of adverb. Adverb of time. Adverb of time. So, when an event takes place, say finally left school yesterday. I'm sure I will see each other again. The second, adverb of manner. An adverb of manner shows how an event or action occurs. He sat at his desk quickly. Adverb of place. An adverb of place shows the location of an action or the direction in which it moves. I leave my bicycle here, and my goal is to keep pushing forward. Adverb of degree. An adverb of degree tells how much or to what extent. For example, the cereal is too sweet. I found the book rather boring, and we all know that cigarettes are highly toxic. Adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency tell how often an event or action takes place. For example, I read daily and I exercise monthly. Conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb connect and show to the relationship between ideas within independent clause. For example, her blood pressure was rising, therefore the doctor decided to include her labor. And didn't sleep last night. However, I still went to work. Adverb form. Single word adverb have two forms, standard and flat. The standard format is the most common and carries the lay ending, but adverbs do not have the lay ending. Adding the lay ending to an adjective is a common way to form a standard adverb. For example, the adjective quiet or as in the quiet crowd becomes quality or as in the word waited quietly. Standard adverb example. Randomly, really, usually, simply, absolutely. Flat adverb example. Almost, always, across, quiet, and perhaps. Adverbial phrases. What is an adverbial phrase? An adverbial phrase is a group of words that function as an adverb. Adverbial phrases contract with adverbial clause and single word adverb. Unlike an adverbial clause, An adverbial phrase does not contain a subject. So Simon your project in the morning, when he lost his double chin to avoiding chocolate, and Anna waited in a state of trepidation, and Mark will sit in the corner. Easy example of an adverbial phrase. Here is an easy example of an adverbial phrase. For example, Jack will sit in silence. The adverbial phrase in silence is a function as an adverbial of manner. It tells us how Jack sat. Compare the example above with the test examples. Jack will sit quietly. This is a normal adverb. This example has been included to prove in silence that in silence is an adverb. I will sit like monk meditates. This is an adverbial clause. It includes a subject, a monk, and a verb meditates. When adverbial phrase of time. An adverbial phrase of time states when something happened or how often. For example, I will do in a minute. After the game, the king and pawn go into the same box. Or a silent proverb. And do not wait for the last judgment. It takes place every day. Where adverbial phrase of place. An adverbial phrase of place where something happened. For example, I used to work in a fire hydrant factory. You could park anywhere near the place. Stephen Wright. Opera is a when Koi gets David in the backhand instead of bleeding he sings. How? Or adverbial praise of manner. An adverbial praise of manner states how something is done. For example, he would always talk with a nationalistic tone. He sings in a loud register, and people who say they sleep like a baby usually don't have one. Next, adverbial clause. What is an adverbial clause? An adverbial clause, also known as an adverb clause, is a group of words that forms an independent clause and is act as an adverb in a sentence. Adverbial clause contain a subject, a predicate, and a subordinating conjunction. As with other adverbial clause modify an adjective, a verb, or another adverb. Adverb clause explain time, place, manner, purpose, and more in a sentence. This clause begin with a trigger word more formally known in English grammar as a subordinating conjunction. Example of subordinating conjunction include adverb in order to, as, before, where, and while. As in a sentence, he arrived after we had breakfast. After is the subordinating conjunction. We is the subject and had started breakfast is the predicate modifying in verb arrive. Types of adverbial clauses. There are several different types of adverbial clauses, each with its own set of common conjunction and function. The first manner, this adverb clause often use as or like to explain how something is done. For example, the politician made as if he had never spoken publicly before. Here as if is the trigger word. He is the subject and never spoken publicly before. See the predicate. Time. Adverbial clauses addressing time often contain the word until, before, after, as long, and while. Answer something happened. For example, they had it before the dinner at the dinner. Purpose. Thus adverb clauses highlight the intention behind an action, often using conjunction such as so that, less you, in order to, and in case. Thus adverbial clause to not follow a comma is the sentence that drove to the form so that they could pick a place. Place. Adverbial clause type place use the trigger word where and wherever, as in the puppy followed me wherever I went. Condition. Conditional adverb clauses play out the potential outcomes of the situation and use subordinating conjunction such as if, provided that, and last. For example, we will go to the zoo if it is sunny. Reason. Cause or reason adverb clause explain the way using subordinating conjunction such as because, since, and as. For example, without you don't go to the sun concert since you love Fifth Ladies music. Comparison. The adverbial clause highlight quality and quantity with conjunction like than and as. An example of a comparison adverb clause is he can bake as we all his grandmother. Concession. Concession adverb clause will have a common separating two independent clauses that contract one another. For example, I like to bike, though I don't eat much these days. You can also use a common in the case of dependent clause at the beginning of a sentence. Although it was hot, the pool kept us cool. Result. Thus, clause have a start and end, relying on subordinating conjunction, so, that, and such. For example, the kitten was so cute that I had to buy it. Example of adverbial clause. The following sentence show example of adverb clause. She walked slowly in the tightrope so that she would fall in the sentence. So that is a common conjunction showing the purpose of the main clause. She walked slowly. The second, she is the subject, and the tightrope is a preposition phrase, and she will fall is the predicate. Even though New was noisy, we found some quiet in Central Park. The sentence highlights the concession type of adverbial clause via the use of the even talk. He studied French before he learned the English language. This adverb clause illustrate time through the trigger word before. The second, he is the subject and learn the English language is the predicate. Okay, I think that's all for me about adverb, adverbial phrase, and adverbial clause. I close with Om Santi, Om Santi 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 Om. Thank you and see you in the next video.